Hey, what's up, everyone? Ace of Spades here, back with another Overwatch tier list video. So, Season 3 coming in with a good amount of changes. Junkrat's got nerfed a little bit with the satchel damage, so it doesn't really do the one-shots anymore. Cass buffed, Soldier buffed with, range and recoil on Soldier. So we'll see, how that affects the tier list ratings and stuff. So let's go ahead and get into that and start putting people in their rightful places. So as we talked about, Cass got his good range buff. Does actually make a huge uh, change, and the reason is because now I think it was over 5 or 10 meters. Don't exactly remember what it is, but it does make a huge difference when a healer is just that far out of range. Hanzo, Widow, stuff like that. It does give you that extra amount of damage. So I think Cass is moving up into the A tier and has an argue to be an S, but I think he's a solid A pick, probably one of the best ones. Okay, let me move this. There we go. Now we can always see the whole list, no matter what. But yeah, solid A pick on the Cass. Torb, I think also solid A, with Ball being in the current meta with dive and everything. Torb is really solid into that. Same with Tracer. You put the turret up, you know when they're going to be flanking because the turret goes off. If they neglect it, then it's just free damage and forces them to recall or get out, as well as his survivability, his like little molten core, mode, getting the health back if they do try and dive you. Same with right click shotgun, left click Cheeto from long range, no fall off. So I think it's all around solid pick, solid A, and you probably see him, a good amount. You can't really go wrong with picking them unless they go like far echo. Then it's a little bit harder to shoot them out of the sky. But for the most part, I think he's pretty solid. Bastion, I think he's also a solid A, honestly. And the reason why, Ball, Reinhardt being used a lot more, Ramasha's still a solid pick. Bastion's pretty much good into all of those tanks. He goes into turret form and just melts the shield, forces them to, hold the block. The only one that kind of counters Bastion a good amount is D.Va. So if they go D.Va, probably don't want to pick the Bastion. But I think for the most part, especially with Ball being used so much, that Bastion is really solid into that. And yeah, just tons of damage. Just be careful, when you go into turret form that you probably, might get dove or hard insta focused. So just be careful of that. But I think he's a solid A pick here. Let's see. Moving on to the next one on the list, the Hanzo. I think Hanzo also solid A. I think maybe we'll see how this ends up going. Maybe I'll have to shift some people around. But I think Hanzo, with his randomness of getting kills, you can just shoot in a random direction and get a headshot. I think he's solid A. I think Sonar gives a lot of help with, dealing with enemy widows. Still solid into shield break. So, Reinhardt, Sigma being used a lot. I think he's good into that. I wouldn't say he's really the best into Ball. If you get caught without your dash and stuff like that, Hanzo can get focused and killed pretty easily by Ball. So if you find yourself getting hard dove and can't really survive, then maybe swap to one of these other ones. But I think overall Hanzo is still a solid pick, has big pick potential, and that's why he's in the solid A. I think Soldier got the recoil or like the aim spread reduced, so it's like easier to hit all your bullets even more. I think Soldier's solid A. I've been using Soldier a good amount. Hey, we're GM1 DPS now. Let's go. But yeah, I think Soldier has consistent damage. He doesn't have burst damage like all these other ones. So if you have like a small damage comp, let's say like Soldier, like a Tracer, you're not going to be able to secure kills with the amount of healing that the healers can output now. So it might not be like the best comp like then, but Soldier has really good consistent damage, survivability against the Ball with his health pack. Yeah, I think he's just a solid all around solid pick. Not really the best, but you can't really go wrong as long as you're always chipping away health and stuff like that. And it would help if you have another DPS that does like good heavy damage, so you can try and like secure kills like Soldier Genji. I probably wouldn't be scared at all on the enemy team with being able to die. But yeah, so I still think he's a solid A just because of survivability and amount of damage that he can do. Let's see, Mei. I'd probably put Mei in B tier. Yeah, I don't think she's like C or D. Especially now with Ball, being meta, Reinhardt's being good. Mei's good into those comps. He can just wall up, left click on, Ball's rollouts, and he's slowed for, forever. And he can't really get away or get his momentum to speed boost out. So I think Mei's pretty solid into that. As long as you're looking for the walls on like engages and stuff like that, then Mei's still a pretty solid pick. Not the best, but really solid. And right click, being able to icicle people from miles away is also pretty solid as well. So I think Mei is a solid B pick here. Reaper. I'm like tempted to put Reaper in A, but he's probably on the same page as Mei. Like they're both like good in the right hands, but not like the best in most situations. Like if you're running like a rush comp with Ryan, then Reaper perfect. But if you're doing like a dive comp, and a lot of like movements heavy characters, like Reaper's not going to get the most value into that. So I think you'll probably put him in B now. Might move him up later, but yeah, I think Reaper is solid B because of that. Tracer, I want to put Tracer in S. Dive meta, Zen's coming back. Tracer's really good into that. High mobility, good damage. Yeah, I think Tracer is a really good meta pick right now. You have to be careful with your HP. You can get one shot. But yeah, I think she's still one of the better DPSs if you know how to play her. High skill cap, but definitely worth it to get good with her. Symmetra. Probably put Symmetra on B as well here. Turrets are good. TP solid. Very situational based, though. Yeah. I mean, if you're facing like a Rhine, then Symmetra's pretty solid. Ram. When I'm not really scared and I play against the Symmetra's Ram. It's good against Orisa. Yeah, I'll probably put Symmetra in B. Just because she does get good value. Don't get me wrong, she can do really well, but she's very niche picked. Yeah. I think I'll probably put her in B here. Sojourn, been S in a lot of the tier list videos. I think probably like an A pick now. With like, the nerfs that she's got, the changes to a lot of the characters. Yeah, I think she's solid. Survivability is good with her dash. She can still do tons of damage with the right click. So overall solid, but not like a must pick in every single hero or every single game as she was before. So I think she's a solid A. Sombra, I think I had her in like D tier in the other ones. She has moved up. Hammond being in the meta, Sombra is really good with countering that. You just hack them, but in any other instance, I think she kind of falls off. You have to be a good Sombra, being able to call out your hacks and actually get value hacks. Don't just, just hack people randomly and then I think that you're getting value for the team. Like you have to do it at the right times. So Hammond's going for a slam, hack him, good, he's in the middle of your team, kill him, stuff like that. But yeah, do I want to move Sombra into B tier though? Because in the Hammond meta, Sombra is used quite a bit. So I think I'll probably move her up into B tier here just because of that. Yeah. I think she gets like an extra couple points boosted. Let's see, Ashe, solid A. Can't really go wrong with the Ashe pick. Be able to use Bob. TNT, hitting multiple people at once, forcing your healers to look is really strong. Yeah. I think Ashe is just one of the always a pretty solid pick. Can't really go wrong. And with Mercy Pocket, destroys, far echoes. So I think she's pretty good. Junkrat lost his insane amount of satchel damage. I'd probably put him in B. He used to be these used to be swapped. Like Junkrat on the flank, dude, you would be sweating. Dude, you'd be scared of where if he turns around a corner and one taps you, but not really that scared anymore since you have time to, use healing, get out of there for survivability. So yeah, I think Junkrat moves down a little bit. Still solid, but not as strong as he once was before, and probably solid B pick here. I'll probably put him like in the front. I would put him in the front of B. Echo. Hit scan got buffed. Okay, so if Echo's getting pocketed, probably like this, right? Echo Pharah. If they're getting pocketed, sure, A, right? Not getting pocketed, B, C. Because they just, I think it's like, it would be like that. Unpocketed. I think Echo still gets value because of copy and all that. But yeah, I think I'd put him in B just because Echo's still really good into Ram, which a lot of people still play Ramattra. With the Hammond dive, Echo's probably still pretty solid too. Yeah, I'd probably put Echo in they together. I'm kind of tempted to leave them together. I think Echo's still a little bit better than Pharah though. But yeah, I'll probably do this. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I think I'll do that. But this is a pocketed Echo. Because you probably won't see these characters anyways if they're not pocketed anyways. No Echo or Pharah player would play these characters unpocketed. So, yeah, we'll do that. Genji, I think Genji's C right now. I don't think Genji's that good or scary. Ball, you can get good dives, but I think the other, like, you can go Tracer, you can go Echo. You can pretty much go any of these other ones that get way more value than Genji. Genji gets good on blades, but other than that, yeah, I don't think he's one of the better DPS picks currently. I'm kind of tempted to put both of these together. Let's be real, but I think Sombra just gets more value because of the current ball meta. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that's probably how I'm gonna leave it. Because with the Brig buffs as well. If Genji's trying to go in now with the insta pack health, Genji kind of loses his burst damage potential there. Bap has his insta heal, Kriko can teleport away. Ana sleeps and everything. Yeah, I think Genji C. Hate to break it to the Genji players, but never really been scared of a Genji recently in my ranked games. Let's see, Widow. I play Widow up in S. We all been in games where Widow just controls the lobby and is pretty much invincible. She did get nerfed on her health, so Sojourner can one-shot her with the right click. So she is a lot more killable, but I think if you are a good Widow player, then you just take over the lobby. You have to consistently get picks, right? You have to get picks in the beginning of the fights when it actually matters. Not just like the end of the fight, your team's dead, you get 3 picks, you're like, oh, dude, I'm doing so much. Like, that's not the Widows that are actually good. But the Widows that get those initial picks at the beginning of fights every single time, we've all been there. We've all faced against those Widows. And it's like, bro, what do? You just give up. It's like, dude, GG freaking Widow. So I think Widow for me is like always an S tier hero, but you have to be able to play her and be consistent at getting those picks like every single fight, which is hard to do. But if you can, then Widow is ridiculously strong, especially now with very little shields being used by the tank characters. So, yeah, I think this looks pretty solid for the tier list. I want to move these anywhere else. I think that's all. I think that's pretty good. I think this is solid. Yep. Season 3, Overwatch 2 tier list right here. Yeah, hope it was helpful for some of you guys that are thinking about which characters to play and whatnot. You can still get around, one tricking. I don't recommend one tricking, but you can get value with, each of the characters in certain situations, but don't be afraid to swap. If you're getting swapped, then or getting countered, look at, one of these other ones that may be potentially better than what you're picking before, and try them out, see how good they are, and maybe you'll find a new main. And yeah, so hope it was helpful, and till the next tier list video. Peace.